Most cat owners have experienced this. You buy a high-end, comfortable bed for your cat, place it in a quiet corner of the living room, and your cat ignores it completely. Instead, you find them sleeping on top of a dusty refrigerator, a cramped bookshelf, or the very top of a wardrobe. It seems illogical to us, but for a cat, height is much more than a preference. It is a biological requirement. Today, we're going to break down the science of why cats need vertical space and how it directly affects their mental and physical health. To understand this behavior, we have to look at how cats are built. Most animals are either hunters or they are prey. Cats are one of the few species that are both. They are highly efficient hunters of small birds and rodents, but because of their small size, they are also vulnerable to larger predators like dogs, coyotes, or owls. This dual nature is the foundation of their psychology. When a cat is on the ground, their field of vision is limited. They are exposed from all sides. But the moment they move to a high point, their entire perspective changes. Up high, a cat gains a tactical advantage. They can see everything moving in the room while remaining partially hidden themselves. In the wild, this allowed their ancestors to spot a meal from a distance while staying out of reach of anything that might want to eat them. In your home, this translates to environmental control. A cat on top of a cabinet isn't just looking around. They are monitoring the exits, the movement of people, and the location of other pets. This constant scanning is how they maintain a sense of safety. Without a high spot to retreat to, a cat is forced to stay in a state of high alert on the ground, which leads to chronic stress. But height isn't just about safety from enemies, it's also about managing the social structure of the home. If you have more than one cat, you've likely noticed that they don't interact like dogs do. They don't have a pack leader in the traditional sense. Instead, they manage their relationships through territory and vertical rank. In a multi-cat household, the cat who occupies the highest perch is usually the one who feels most confident at that moment. By claiming the top of the cat tree, they are signaling their status without needing to hiss or fight. This is a form of passive communication. It allows cats to live together in small spaces without constant physical conflict. If you provide enough vertical layers, your cats can pass each other at different heights. This avoids the bottleneck effect on the floor, where two cats might feel forced into a confrontation because they have nowhere else to go. Adding shelves or perches creates visual lanes that allow them to coexist peacefully. If you've ever seen your cats fighting or chasing each other aggressively, the problem might not be their personalities. It might simply be that your home is too flat. Now, let's look at the physical benefits of height, starting with something very practical: temperature. A cat's normal body temperature is higher than a human's, averaging around 101 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit. They have a very high metabolism and spend a lot of energy maintaining that heat. Because heat rises, the air near the ceiling of your home is often significantly warmer than the air near the floor. To a cat, the top of a bookshelf is not just a viewpoint, it's a thermal sanctuary. This is especially true in the winter or in homes with air conditioning. By sleeping up high, they can maintain their body temperature with less effort, allowing them to fall into a much deeper and more restorative sleep. The quality of sleep is actually one of the most important reasons to provide high places. When a cat is on the floor, they rarely enter a deep REM sleep. They stay in a light nap mode where their ears are constantly twitching, listening for danger. This is an exhausting way to live. However, when a cat knows that nothing can reach them from behind or below, because they are 6 feet up, they can finally let their guard down. They can stretch out, expose their belly, and enter the deep sleep cycles they need for a healthy immune system and brain function. If your cat seems irritable or prone to zoomies at night, it might be because they aren't getting high-quality sleep during the day. Another fascinating aspect of this behavior is what experts call confidence building. If you have a cat that is shy or easily frightened, your first instinct might be to give them more places to hide, like boxes or under the bed. But behavioral science shows that hiding often reinforces fear. Instead of hiding, a fearful cat needs to survey. When you give an anxious cat a vertical path, you give them a way to see the threat from a safe distance. Once they realize they can watch the vacuum cleaner or the guest in the house without being touched, their confidence begins to grow. They move from a prey mindset where they are hiding to a predator mindset where they are observing. We also need to distinguish between tree dwellers and bush dwellers. While almost all cats love height, some breeds and individuals prefer different levels. Tree dwellers are the cats who want to be at the absolute highest point, the top of the door or the ceiling-high cabinet. Bush dwellers, on the other hand, like mid-level heights. They want to be on the back of a sofa or a dining chair, where they are off the ground but still close to the action. Understanding which type your cat is will help you design your home. If your cat never uses a tall cat tree, they might be a bush dweller who would prefer a series of lower, wider shelves. So, how do you practically implement this in your home? You don't need a massive budget. The goal is to create what we call a cat superhighway. This is a path that allows a cat to navigate a room without ever touching the floor. You can create this by lining up furniture of different heights. A chair leads to a desk, which leads to a shelf, which leads to the top of the fridge. For a cat, this is like having a private road system. It expands their territory. If you live in a 500 square foot apartment, adding vertical paths can effectively make the apartment feel like 1,000 square feet to your cat. One common mistake people make is buying slippery furniture. A cat won't use a high shelf if they feel they might fall off. Adding a simple piece of carpet, sisal, or even a yoga mat to the top of your cabinets can instantly make those areas more attractive to your cat. It gives them the grip they need to feel secure while jumping and landing. In conclusion, your cat's desire to be up high is not a quirk or a sign of being aloof. It is a sophisticated survival strategy that touches every part of their life, from their social standing and sleep quality to their body temperature and confidence levels. When you provide your cat with the high ground, you aren't just giving them a piece of furniture. You are giving them a sense of mastery over their environment. You are allowing them to be the confident, relaxed predator they were born to be. Look around your room right now. If you were a cat, where would you go to feel safe? If the answer is nowhere, it might be time to add a few shelves. Your cat's mental health depends on it more than you might think. What's the highest place your cat has ever climbed? Have you noticed a change in their mood when they spend time up there? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you want to understand more about the hidden language of your cat, make sure to subscribe. We're diving deep into feline psychology in every video. Thanks for watching, and give your cat a high spot today.